Thank you so much for attending my presentation about the best ability that doesn't see play, and first let's talk about what it does. Purely in terms of effect, Simple is completely fucked up. It doubles all of your stat changes. That might sound a bit weird, so here's an example. Pretend Volcarona had Simple. If it clicked Quiver Dance, it would get a +2 boost to special attack, special defense, and speed instead of +1. That's some obscene shit, enabling strong sweepers to absolutely roll through teams. There is an obvious downside, but it's not the end of the world. Doubling stat drops is rarely that big of a deal. The most relevant case is with Intimidate, but can be negated by boosting moves. After an Intim and a Source Dance, you're still sitting a +2. You can take advantage of this in many ways. There's clear ones like Dragon Dance Dragonite, but you could get really creative as we'll explore later. However, there's a giant problem that makes all of this a bit useless. There's only two fully evolved Pokemon that have it, and both aren't great to say the least, Bibarel and Swoobat. Let's start with the Beaver. Even though I've mentioned it in videos before, it's time we take a proper look at what sets it actually runs. Bibarel has approximately 1 billion problems. Its attack is low, its speed is low, and it's frail as hell. There just aren't any redeeming qualities with its stats. But Simple and Source Dance can be pretty potent. For all the things it lacks, Bibarel actually does have two forms of stat priority in Quick Attack and Aqua Jet. After setting up, it can dish out some reasonable damage with these moves. While this isn't exactly enough to sweep teams, it excels as a cleaner. A +4 Aqua Jet, even off of 85 attack, is enough to threaten stuff when at lower health. Bringing Bibarel in during the late game to finish off weakened opponents is very strong and where it makes its money. This next part is pretty irrelevant now, but it's a cool interaction that I want to highlight. Before Gen 5, a Pokemon with Simple could receive the stat boosts from Baton Pass and they'd be doubled. This was very deadly, but Baton Pass isn't really legal in those tiers, so it doesn't matter. Pretty cool anyways. Swoobat is definitely the better user for several reasons. Its boosting move of choice is Calm Mind, acting like a Nasty Plot and Amnesia rolled into one. Obviously amazing, but held back by poor stats. Sure, the bat is fast, but outside of that it doesn't have anything, but similar to Bibarel, this one ability makes it decent. In addition, its move pool is more suited to take advantage of the boosts. Stored Power is a great stat move, increasing by 20 power for each stat raise it has. This means that, after just one Calm Mind, it's hitting for 100. Imagine the damage after 2 or even 3. And it also loves using some of those weirder simple strategies. One we see pop up here is the Salic Berry, increasing speed when below 25% HP. Of course, with Swoobat, that's a +2 boost. All of this is tough to make work. Defensively, it's fucking paper and is susceptible to straight up Okos from neutral hits. Now, Rock's weakness also doesn't help this, making it even easier to take down. However, once the ball gets rolling, have fun stopping it without priority. It's pretty obvious that neither of these doofuses are going to see anything remotely close to high tier success, but when the power level drops off, they can be great. Bibarel's results have unfortunately been worse. It does have some stuff going for it down in ZU, especially Sun and Moon. The sets aren't too innovative, but who cares? Bibarel is good somewhere, which is what matters to me. Swoobat has been stronger though. Its sweeping sets in Gens 5 through 7 were pretty standard stuff, nothing too unique, but it would get very interesting. This thing ran a terrain sweeper build. The idea is pretty simple. Switch in under Pincurchin's electric terrain to get an instant +2 defense boost with Simple and the Electric Seed, then start setting up. You're harder to take down, especially after a Calm Mind, and have an easier time sweeping. Still a bit inconsistent, I mean it relies on fucking Pincurchin, but it is a very cool, very real place to have. It's also helped some pre-evolved Pokemon be strong in Little Cup, particularly Woobat and Numel. In fact, the former was actually banned in Gen 8. Now I don't talk about Little Cup very often, and for good reason. It's pretty foreign to me. Instead, I'll link some videos in the description so you can learn about what went down from someone that actually knows what's going on there. In conclusion, Simple is an absolutely monstrous ability. However, in an honestly great twist, it wasn't given to any top tier mons. Instead, they blessed some of their worst creations which got great use out of it without being broken. Thank you so much for watching.